Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Coffee Rant with Dano and Frank, the Patriot Bald Eagle. Tonight we are drinking the house blend of Whole Foods Market 365. At this point, I'm just trying to get rid of it. It is not one of my favorites. I just wanted to try something from Whole Foods, and it was on sale. So pretty much the only thing in there that was on sale. But anyway, if you need to hit pause to get your coffee or whatever beverage you deem necessary, go ahead and do that now, as this will be a lengthy discussion. Winter's here, guys. Winter is here. All of our thoughts and prayers are with all of our viewers and everyone involved with some of the snowstorms up north. We live in Cincinnati, Ohio here, so, the weather can be cold, but we don't get a lot of snow like most people. You got to go about an hour north of here. We do get snow, and knock on wood, we haven't gotten hit yet this year. However, the weather is coming. The cold weather is coming. This time next Tuesday, we have a high of 15 degrees and a low of 6 degrees. So what does that tell me? Time to get ready, to prepare for any kind of scenario that would be with the cold weather. Does that mean winterizing your car, making sure that you have everything in your car in case anything happens, making sure that your heat and everything else work, which we're going to go into that here in a little bit. But yes, to all of our viewers that have been involved in the snowstorms out in Kansas and some of the northern states, I know we had one viewer say that they were literally trapped in their house from all the snow. Boy, I'll tell you, I can only imagine, and I hope that you were able to prepare a little bit for the upcoming weather. I know that a lot of our viewers up north are already prepared. They're probably some of the best people to talk to on how to prepare for bad weather, because you have to think of everything. You have to think, okay, what if my power goes out? What if the power goes out because the lines are frozen? That has happened here. Actually, that usually happens like once a year here. We'll have like a big ice storm. Power will go out, usually only for a couple hours around here, but I can only imagine like up north around Cleveland, Buffalo, northern Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas, like all these areas where you're probably pretty used to the snow by now, but we're always in shock when it hits here. I'm not, nothing too much really surprises me anymore, but and it's like, if we get like an inch of snow around here, I feel like everybody kind of freaks out. And that could be everywhere, but some of our northern viewers, let us know down in the comments. Is that the same up north, or is pretty much everybody just used to it? Do you stay indoors? Do you go out? If it snows, I don't really go out anywhere. I have the luxury of being able to do a video from pretty much anywhere in the world, even here in the comfort of our own home. One thing I like to do when we have bad weather like this is talk about ways to prepare. Make sure that you have, different things that that you may need. Like, it's a good idea to keep maybe a heavy blanket in the car, or a couple blankets in case you're traveling with children, or, just more than one person. Good to always keep some kind of emergency kit in your car as well. You never know what could happen, and if it's really bad weather, you may be trapped for a little while. Mother Nature is very unpredictable. I will say it's crazy here right now. It is like 50 degrees outside, and I'll tell you what, that is crazy. I don't know the last time we've had 50-degree weather in Cincinnati in January. Like, it's really weird, but when I look off to the west, and it's like freezing temperature, so it's coming this way. Tomorrow we have a high of 36. People wonder why they get sick around here all the time. I think that's why. It's absolutely crazy. But, just make sure that you're doing everything that you can. We're going to be going to Kroger in the morning to check out their new sales for the week. Make sure you're subscribed down below to Adventures with Dano here on YouTube, as we try to help at least share some of the different sales that they have going on. We like going to Kroger. I know we have a lot of viewers, so I want to explain this for a second. We like going to Kroger because there's Kroger all over the nation, right? All over the states here, everywhere, all over the country. Now, they're not all named Kroger, but a lot of them are owned by Kroger. So we can do a more massive comparison on some of the different sales. Places like Ralph's, King Soopers, Dillon's, Mariano's, Food for Less out west, and some of the other ones down south. Even Florida has the Kroger distribution. So if you're part of the Boost program, which is $59 a year, you can get your food delivered to you in Florida by Kroger. And we have a lot of viewers on the channel here that really like that. So I wanted to mention that. But, always make sure that you have, extra water. You never know. You want to do things to maybe, if you own a house, you want to make sure that you're doing things to maybe prevent your pipes from freezing. I know they have like that heat tape and stuff like that you can use. And there's better ways, different like styrofoam, not styrofoam, but that foamy stuff. I don't even know what it's called. But, another good thing to think about, right? Because that's kind of what we're going over in this video today is I'm trying to just cover everything that I can think of. Like if I owned a house, that would be the first thing I would think of is make sure those pipes don't freeze. It's always a good idea to leave your water drip a little bit at night too, especially if it's going to be below freezing. Maybe just have it on like a slight drip. And I know with prices the way they are these days, that's the last thing you want to do. But you don't want your pipes to freeze, because if the pipes freeze, you're in for a lot more problems than if just an extra $10 on your water bill. So, and I know I'm mostly speaking to, everyone that is going to have cold weather. But next week, it's coming. Me and Jessica are preparing, making sure that we have everything in order. We have rotated some of our stockpile of foods to make sure that we're using stuff that is going further out of date. You guys know I like to stock up on soups and everything, and I don't have any more frozen. We have eaten all that stuff, but we're ready. We're ready. Also, tomorrow morning, me and Jessica have a fun video for you guys that's going to be coming out. Jessica is trying to get more and more involved in some of the videos so that we can add some fun entertainment for you guys. When we first started the channel here, we were doing adventures and sharing exciting times while sharing the important information of different food prices and that kind of stuff as well. We're kind of all over the place, but we want to throw in some more of our fun adventures for you guys because, the last one we did, we got a pretty big response. And it's nice to do something fun. I love doing stuff with my wife. She is a very exciting, fun to be with person. And it's a good relief for me to kind of take a break away from all the doom and gloom going on. Even these coffee rants here, it's good to provide, to talk about these things, different information that I can give. But what's even more important than that is the information that you guys leave on the channel. Make sure you are liking this video and commenting down below because, for one, the likes and comments help spread our videos out all around the world, right? We get more people in here, which more people can react and let everybody know what's going on in your city and state. What's going on in Ohio isn't the same thing as what's going on in Texas or California or New York or Florida. That is what's awesome about our channel growing, is that everybody is helping each other in these different kind of events and talking these things out. Even if you're just meeting some new friends, we're meeting people of like content. That's, I guess, in a way, that's kind of what's cool about YouTube, pushing the algorithm of what we're talking about, no matter what it is on the channel here, and pushing it out to people who are like-minded, who just like to watch these kind of things or to understand or to just listen, right? I love everything that's going on with the channel. Thank you to all of our returning subscribers and new subscribers. Our channel is growing every day, and I do feel like we are all making a difference. Now, back to some of the preparations, when the weather gets so cold like this, and it's hard to talk about what's coming next week because, like I said, it's 50 degrees out here. It's raining like crazy. The wind feels like a hurricane. So, you feel it in the air. It's coming. High of 36 tomorrow. I think it's a low of 30 tonight. So it's going to get cold. It's going to get cold, but it's going to get way colder than that because all next week we're in the low 20s for highs, upper teens for lows. And then Tuesday, it's supposed to be 15 degrees for the high and 6 degrees for the low. So we're making sure that we're making all of our preparations here to make sure that we have everything, got plenty of water, because you have to think about these things. That's why it's good to stock up on these things. We always talk about stocking up on the sales as we see them. It's paying off now. It will be paying off when we don't have to go out to the stores next week to make sure that we have food and stuff like that. We can literally live off the stuff we have for a while. But what I'm saying is that even if you can't, if your budget doesn't allow that, it would be a good time now before the cold weather starts settling in for a while to try and just prepare a little bit, make sure that you are ready for what's to come. Don't be left out in the cold. No pun intended. And you don't. I mean, if you work in the morning time every day, that is one of the hardest times on your car. In between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning is some of the coldest temperatures that we will see. Actually, between like 4 and 7, right? Because right as it starts to get light, that is the coldest temperature. So it's like if you're leaving for work between 4, 5, 6 o'clock, you kind of want to make sure your car is ready, especially if you're going to drive in bad weather. I never encourage people to drive in bad weather, but I understand you got to get to work. You got to do these things. Check your tire pressure. Check your tire pressure. Make sure that your car is correct. Cold weather will lower some of the different pounds of the PSI in your tires. Your pressure in your tires will lower a little bit when it gets that cold. Now, okay, I'm going to tell you something here, and this is just me, okay? The reason why I don't worry too much about that is because it's actually a good thing if you're going to be driving in snowy weather to actually have a little bit of your tire a little lower because it grips to the road better. And I'm not talking lower by like 10 pounds. I'm saying like a pound or two. Like if you normally have 32 pounds of pressure in your tire, which is the average, I would have like 29 or 30 pounds of pressure in the tires just to give it that grip. And then as soon as whatever the snowy weather or whatever, then I would fill it back up to 32. Now that is just me. Okay, I'm not saying go out and do that. I'm just saying that is what I do. Okay, and always have a full tank of gas, especially if you know the back, and even if you're only a quarter tank, even if you've only used a quarter tank, if you know it's going to be bad weather or something the next day or whenever, go ahead and fill up again, because if it snows, you're adding an extra one pound or 1 gallon is 3.33 pounds or 3.34 pounds. Okay, so every gallon of gas you have in your tank, you're adding more weight, which means it's going to be less and less likely for your car to hydroplane or give out, or, and if it's icy, yeah, don't do it anyway, right? I mean, you won't see me out here if it's, I don't drive on ice, I don't worry too much about myself. I worry about everybody else on the road, right? I mean, if you tell me if this sounds familiar, it's bad weather, you're kind of driving, it's slick outside. You're watching the road, and then when you come to a stop, you're constantly looking in your rearview mirror to the person behind you. And I'll tell you what, I've been rear-ended in a car before, and I'll tell you what, it's not fun. Any kind of wreck is not fun, obviously, but when you see that and ever since that, and it's been a long time, it's been years and years since that happened to me, but I am literally ready to pull up on a curb if I see somebody sliding right at me. Like, when you see them going, and they're sliding, I'm literally, like, hugging up against the curb or doing everything I can to get out of that person's way. Again, that is just me. That is how I think and how I drive. But I'm always thinking cautionary. I'd show this shirt here. I keep seeing this in here. I'm not wearing one of my collared shirts today. So this is a zoo day, right? This is from the Cincinnati Zoo. It's got the Bengal tiger on it. If you're familiar with Cincinnati, our slogan here for the Cincinnati Bengals is Who Day, right? So I like the Zoo Day thing. I don't know. I keep seeing that in there. I just wanted to show you guys what that was. Anyway, let's take a drink of this horrible coffee. I shouldn't say that. It's not horrible. It's just, I'll never get it again. I don't know. I was a little, I knew what to expect with Whole Foods. I'd been there before, but I don't know. It's just not, it's not a place I would normally shop. So anyway, about tomorrow, yes, Jessica is wanting to get more involved in the videos. She loves and thanks every one of you for your kind comments. She really loves looking through the comments and everything. We're both responding to the comments, so you'll see her responding as well as me. And she just really loves being able to go out and do what she wants to do, and we're just going to video that for you, right? It's going to be like a daily vlog. Still not taken away from the store videos or anything like that. And we'll just try and throw things in as we go along. Jessica doesn't really like going over all the different prices and all that stuff, and I don't blame her. You know, it's an informative thing that I do on the channel here to make people aware of what's going on with high prices, shortages, those kind of things. None of that's changing. We're still doing this, but we're going to add Jess into more videos. And you know, it's like there's going to be times where, you know, this is a hard job, guys. It is hard to get in front of the camera every day here and just psych yourself into doing what we're doing on the channel here. It is, you know, I'm used to it. But for a lot of people, I can see where it's rough. It's tough. Now, we've been doing this for a few years. Jessica's been in a lot of our other adventure videos, theme parks, stuff like that. So if you want to check those out, go way back down the rabbit hole of Adventures with Dano, and you can see all of our Kings Island videos. We got videos at Disney World, Universal Studios, all kinds of different things when we started the channel off here. And we're trying to add more adventures and fun into some of the videos throughout the week, because that is what we need. We need a little bit of entertainment to break away from all of the different crazy things going on around the world right now. But, you know, just be ready for next week, guys. I know that there's been a lot of our viewers that have been hit with snowstorms. And again, like I said, mine and Jessica's thoughts and prayers are with all of you. Thank you for even commenting and letting us know and providing what city and state you're in. I know a lot of people were out of power. And I know our one viewer was snowed in Kansas. I mean, that's terrible. I remember like 20 years ago, we had a huge blizzard here. And we got out of the house, and I'll tell you what, I made a fortune shoveling people's snow. I mean, the snow was up past halfway up people's doors. It was crazy. I'm like, I don't know, I was really young and wanted to make some money. And I was literally charging like $10, right, to clear a path for some people. They were giving me like $30, $40 and years and years ago. That was a lot of money for a kid. I was excited. I had the entire neighborhood, and a buddy of mine had ended up helping. I did most of the work, but I still gave him half the money because it was like, hey, you know what? We just got to get these people out of their houses. We grew up in an area where there was a lot of senior citizens around us and stuff, so we wanted to make sure that they were able to get out of their house. They didn't really leave their house anyway. We actually did like some different shopping for some of our neighbors back then. This is the kind of attitude that we need to spread out, guys. You know, if you see a neighbor that's trapped and can't get out of their house because of snow, go give them a hand. Give them a hand. It's good exercise. You'll feel good. Go inside when you're done. Have a cup of hot chocolate. Wow, that really takes me back. Fun times. Then your dad, you know, my dad was so proud of us. You know, he was like, you guys put in some honest work here and, you know, get us snacks. I think there was this pizza driver. Not to go too far off subject here, but I got to tell you this story. This was fun. So this was like maybe a couple days after we had the blizzard, and the roads were still completely covered. There just wasn't nothing. We are not prepared for some kind of storm like that, right? I mean, we have plows and snow trucks and stuff like that, but it was just so much. I mean, it was feet and feet of snow. It was ridiculous. There was this pizza driver who had chains on his tires, like actual chains, like snow chains. And this guy had like an old, like Chevelle, right? And this guy was he was loving it. I mean, you'd see him coming down the road. He had no problems. He's driving right on top of like 2 feet of ice, right? And this guy, I mean, he was kind of an older guy, but he loved it. He loved it. And we ordered pizza because we knew that guy would be working. My dad actually knew the guy. I forget his name. But he would bring us our pizza and everything, and he'd bring all kinds of stuff. You never had to ask for paper plates or napkins or anything like that. He would always have them in the car, and he would like yell from the car, you need plates and napkins? He'd have like a stack of them and just bring them in. And I'll tell you what, I bet that guy made a fortune delivering pizzas, and we're talking 20-something years ago. So, I mean, but I just remember that guy in that blue Chevelle, or kind of like a lighter blue Chevelle. And he would just not fly, but I mean, it did not bother him at all. He was gonna deliver your pizza. And you know, it's those kind of work ethics that I love in somebody. It's like providing for your customer, loving your job, and probably getting paid really well for it. Even back then, I'm sure they were making some pretty big tips, hopefully, for dropping food off to people. Another reason of why I thought it's always good to be prepared in the future. So if ever we do have snowstorms like that, we don't even have to call a pizza place. We have all different kinds. We can make our own pizza. So I mean, that's nice. That's nice. But I don't know. That was a fun story. It just all reminded me of that snowstorm. It was a fun time. I know it's like, it's bad. It can be bad. Like the weather just being like that can be terrible. But you remember the good things, and that's what I remember from that huge storm. And I know one of our viewers may be up north in Buffalo. That's probably what you guys deal with for like 4 or 5 months out of the year. I could only imagine. So probably another normal day for you guys. But for us, that was a once in a lifetime. I haven't seen a snowstorm like that since then. Now we do get some snowstorms, but not like that. The thing that seems to happen in Cincinnati is we'll get a snowstorm, right? And it'll be like 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow, but then the temperature will go down to like 15 degrees. That's what I'm worried. Like it's supposed to snow and then get down to 15, then it all turns into ice, right? And that's what you have to worry about. But anyway, I know I've gone way far off subject here, but just make sure you're doing the little things. Make sure you're preparing. Make sure you got your blankets, your coats ready. Maybe an extra pair of pants. If you say you got to dig your car out. Say you got to dig your car out of the snow. I've had to do that before. And you get soaked. You get soaked because you're slipping and sliding and falling. You may actually want to keep like an extra pair of clothes. Maybe have a backpack dedicated, something like this, right? Just something for emergencies. Extra set of clothes, book bag, throw it in your car. Always good to have in your car all the time because you always have the chance of leaving your house, getting on the road and thinking, oh, I left my book bag in the room, right? Or in my bedroom or something, So it's always good to have in the car. Good to have jumper cables. Make sure you have jumper cables. I'll tell you what, I bet battery sales really go up this time of year because, cold weather can do some damage to your battery too. If you say you're going out, okay, say you're off, right? Or if you have a later job. It's always good to let the sun hit on your car for a little while if you can help it, before you even try to start your car. Because if it's kind of melting some of that stuff, if you have condensation that is like seeped under your hood and like on everything, it's good to have like a little bit of that heat from the sun, hitting across the metal, kind of insulating it a little bit before you actually start your car. But I know that most people can't do that. And that is one luxury that I have, I guess, is that, I'm doing a Kroger video today. I don't have to leave at 6 in the morning. I can leave at 10, 10:30, 11. So I am blessed for that. So, and that's probably what will happen next Tuesday when we go out. Because, I will not be leaving at 5 in the morning when it is 6 degrees outside. However, I am always well prepared. I have tools in my car. Good to have some tools, if you know how to work on your car. If not, always a good idea to have AAA, or if your car has some kind of emergency roadside service, always good to have that. Always. Always good to have maybe a thermos of coffee. Maybe not a thermos, but at least like maybe one of those nice, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar. These are the kind of things that shine at these places. Are those like metal thermoses that you can get for like $4 or $5? May not be a Stanley, but they're still metal and they'll still keep heat for a while. But always good, fill up your tank. Make sure you have these things. Also, if I'm leaving out anything, there are people out here that know way more than I do. People up north of here, you've probably have like a list that you check off probably back in like October or something to make sure you're ready, for the bad weather. So feel free. Leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you keep in your car. What do you keep in your house? What are some of the things that you do to prepare for some of this bad weather that is surely coming here shortly? I don't know. I was just kind of thinking there for a second, like, do we have everything? But I guess that's another advantage is that I have is that throughout the week we're visiting stores. So whatever I think of, make sure you let us know down in the comments so that maybe you might be helping me out as well as I go and venture out to the stores to try and help save you as much money in the stores and show you some of the best prices. I will remember to pick up some of the things that I may have left out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.